I have to say, very flattered with the Antoine Toinel. I mean, that makes me very happy. I just think I'm really interested in showing women at all different stages of their lives. And what I loved about Rebecca's script and about this film was, I think for me, there's so many moments that I love, but the moments where Julian his first wife kind of moves into my house and we're carpooling the kids around together, I felt like I'd never seen that in a film.
I found that interesting.
Second wife.
In that you're a Quaker in the film.
I am.
And Quaker culture before the two schisms was very female-centric and very female spiritual. Where did I guess you were Universal Unitarian. You went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
Where did the Quaker thing come from?
Rebecca and I actually came up with that together. I had been reading a lot about Quakers. I'd been going to Quaker meeting. They're good. They've basically never been on the wrong side of history. They were against slavery before anybody else was. They were for women's voting rights.
World War I,
they were
World
like,
War II.
they're very ethical people and very and it's all individual, and there's no creeds you have to believe in. It's just
well, there were schisms
the idea
with
of the services being in silence
in
is so
silence.
powerful.
Quietude, yeah.
Now Quakers, the only thing you have to believe in that they say is you have to believe that the divine light is in every person. That's it.
Pantheism, more or less.
That's it. I got very into Wittgenstein. All the discussions of slabs and I found it all kind of, interestingly, I felt like I read later. Bohr has read Heidegger and thought it was poetry. He didn't know that it was philosophy. And I had a very similar reaction to a lot of the philosophy I read. I don't know how deeply I grasped all of the ideas, but I thought that the kind of obtuse language they used to describe the world as they thought it was made up, was just unbelievably beautiful.
Process of distillation. I reckon that's my minute, right?
Yeah.
The Doe Fund is a great organization for people that don't know. If they're having the highest success ratio of getting people who were incarcerated, who are homeless, off the street and into having functioning jobs and paying their taxes and paying their child support. And it's a really great program, and the men in there are really inspiring. And the ebbs and flows of the contemporary political environment are kind of constantly changing, and they seem really confusing because as Manhattan itself becomes more and more gentrified, a lot of the poverty you don't see, it's getting pushed out, and so where it exactly is and whether or not it's being handled right is there's a lot of questions about that.
I dare say Brooklyn and Queens are the next frontiers of gentrification. 20 years ago with New Arson and Williamsburg.